This is William Tincup and Ryan Leary. Ryan, how you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. We are
Good.
Where are we at?
We are in Charlotte.
Why are we in Charlotte?
We are in Charlotte for iSolved Connect. You know, as many times as we've said that, I still need to look that way.
To see the sign?
To see the sign, to make sure
No.
I say iSolved.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Although I did just see the people heroes walk through.
They, they didn't speak.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like mimes. So it's one of these.
It's a little awkward.
It is.
It's a little awkward. Yeah. I wanted to get my photo. We have photos.
We do.
From last year to year before.
They have little plushy dolls too.
Yes. My office is clobbered with them.
Yeah. I don't think you have the full collection. There's 5 of them.
I don't have I have a lot of doubles. But I don't have the full collection.
Mistakes have been made.
Yes. We'll have to talk to these people over here.
It's one of those deals, though, like that person, I wouldn't say male or female, I don't know, but they came up and they don't speak. They just kind of like hand gesture.
I tried to shake his hand, but I don't think he could see through the mask.
Yeah. No. Wait, that's a mask?
No,
Yeah.
it's real.
Yes. The Easter Bunny's not real?
What?
Now we're going to have to put a warning label.
No.
Don't play near your kids.
Seriously. It's like charades.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
One word. Great. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
I mean, I love them, but I like taking pictures with them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, they came up to the podcast like we didn't know what to do with
I
them.
look very short next to them.
And you can't put their headphones on because their heads are so big.
They don't fit.
Yeah.
I
Shae?
think the next show they should have headphones that fit them.
That would actually be
That would
funny.
be great.
Mm-hmm.
We have a guest on today, Shae.
We do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very
Good.
excited about doing
And
a podcast.
what company are you with, Shae?
I'm with ZayZoon.
And what does ZayZoon do?
ZayZoon offers employees access to their wages in between their check dates. So we are a financial wellness tool to help employees that need to access their wages in the event of an emergency.
Done.
Yeah.
Drops Mike. Great
Exactly.
podcast.
I absolutely love this category.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just think it's amazing. And you mentioned it earlier. We're so used to now Ubers of the world.
Tap out.
Get your money. It's wonderful.
Right.
I never had this growing up.
Mm-mm.
I had to wait.
2 weeks.
Some jobs I had to wait a month.
Oh,
Like I was on a monthly when I
Yeah.
worked I was a student at the time, but I really needed my money.
that's harsh.
Yeah, at university, and it was every month, and it was awful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you've earned it, you should have access to it. If
Yeah.
you need it, you shouldn't have to overdraft your bank account or borrow money from friends or family. You should be able to say, I worked, I need access to that money,
Yeah,
and, move on with your life because emergencies happen.
yeah,
70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So one emergency, one flat tire, one unexpected grocery bill can put you in.
When does
But
that number go down? 70%. We've talked about that exact stat
We
a
did.
lot.
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to think about like why 70% of them, and it's different,
Right.
You make more money, you spend more money. You would
Mhm.
think that people that need access to their wages are living paycheck to paycheck or hourly employees or making minimum wage, but that's just not the case. 70% of Americans, that's a large number. And in fact, I would say 15% of our business roughly is employees that make over $100,000 a year.
yeah.
So it's not just
Right.
minimum wage income earners.
Yeah.
It's across the board.
I'd be interested to see what that breakdown actually is because you might have a different thought on this. You normally do. People who make less do better with less money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for the most part, people who have not ever been or consistently been high earners, they've adjusted, they've thrived, and they've been able to do that. But when you get across that threshold and now you're making 200, 250, you're still spending.
Right.
You're now spending the
Well,
money
now-
you didn't have.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, I have access to all this money, and before you were, doing, you were budgeting better.
Yeah.
and,
Well, it's a truism of people that are poor,
Mhm.
middle class to poor. You don't know anything different.
right.
Right.
So you budget. You have to budget.
Right.
Yeah.
You've always had access to a limited amount of money,
right.
and it's like you're not
make it
just
work.
out there, you're not getting Amazon packages delivered every day,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
In fact, that's one of the bits. Instead of having something delivered by Walmart, you're going to go to Walmart.
Exactly.
So when you make over six figures, especially for the first time in your life, you get over your skis real fast
Yeah.
Mhm.
because you've been driving around in a broken down car. Maybe you've been living in an apartment, you get a house, like everything upgrades. And so you spend what you have and even what you don't have.
You go from renting to being a homeowner. When you rent, if something breaks in your house, you don't have to fix it. You call your landlord. You own a house, something breaks, you have to fix it.
You have to call
Right.
somebody else
Right.
that's going to charge you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you're paying, okay, you have to pay $300 for the guy that's going to come and look at your washing machine. And then he tells you, well, it's going to be another $600 to fix it. Do you just
100%.
buy a new washing machine, or do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a trend that happened probably 10 years ago is home ownership.
Mm.
There's an undercurrent of people are like, yeah, I'll never own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happening today still. It's like,
Renting. Yeah.
what's the benefit of owning? I think there's a benefit,
Me
but
too.
not everybody
Yeah.
does. And some people want the ability to like move from place to place. So I get that too.
I haven't been sold on the idea of renting over buying,
I have.
unless you
because-
want to be fluid and more transient.
Well, because you've already committed.
Well, yeah, there's no getting out of that.
That's it. It's the same thing in cars with leasing, by the way.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
start leasing in your 20s,
Yeah.
you
I'm a car leaser. I'm not a car buyer.
see,
I'm like, I want a new car every 3 years.
Right.
and you'll never change.
I'm never going to drive a car into the ground. That's not who I am.
Right.
But as far as home ownership,
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
I bought a home. I was able to sell it for more than I've done it 3 times, and like thought it's been an incredible investment for me.
Yeah.
But
I wish I would have done the leasing thing.
Yeah.
When I was younger, that would have been that's something I would change. I don't have many regrets. That's actually one of the things I would have changed.
Yeah.
But then you always have a car payment. See, I'm on the other side of that. I've leased once, and I feel like I screwed myself.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, it's just a car payment. So what?
yeah.
Yeah, but it's continuous.
Yeah. So what?
But how the way cars are built now,
Mm-hmm.
are they built to last? Or are they built
I mean,
to
I-
keep you coming back?
I have
Yeah.
3 Toyotas. They're like cockroaches. You can't
Yeah,
kill them.
like,
Seriously.
I mean, my minivan
All
is pretty
love.
beat.
Yeah.
You can't kill these cars.
Yeah.
I've tried.
That I
You
mean,
can't.
that
you,
is true.
You can't kill these cars.
I just don't want to pay
But I
for
would
a
like
car.
something new.
Yeah.
Like when we've had new vehicles,
Mhm.
I like that feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
Driving
absolutely.
around something new, it's like, I like
Yeah.
this.
But then you got to pay the
got paid free.
every month, and I'm like, yeah.
Dude, my mini payment, and this isn't a big payment now, but back then it was $680 a
Yeah.
month.
That's still a lot
I mean,
That is a
for
lot.
a car. I'm not a car person, so
Well, my lease is up in about a month.
okay, what are you
It's-
going with?
I'm actually getting a Tesla because it was the cheapest option to lease.
there you go.
I have
They're
a
getting cheaper by the day. My
and
bad.
that's why I'm going to lease it, because when my 3 years is up, you got to take it back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
Yeah.
You also don't drive across the country and stuff like that.
I don't.
City driving.
I work remote. Sad to say, I go get my eyelashes done. I go get my
I was
nails
looking
done.
at your eyelashes.
And then I pick up my kids from school, and that's about all I
There
drive.
you go. 7,500 mile lease done.
Exactly.
It's like $200 a month.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. So
That's perfect.
Working from home is one of those things where you don't get out as much. I've been in the payroll industry for 15 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for I'm not going to say it because I'm at the iSolved show, but I
Sure.
worked for a rather large payroll company for
With-
10 years.
Yeah.
And I
3
went,
digits, kind of a three letters.
nope, not that one.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other big one.
Okay. Gotcha.
But I was visiting clients, I was client facing, and I had so many miles on my car, and I got to
That's
see
me.
people all the time. But now everything is,
Yeah.
since everybody's like this, but since COVID happened,
Yeah.
we're working
Zoom.
remote. I'm doing 7-8 meetings a day,
Which
where
is
I was
even
doing
more
like,
efficient.
yeah, it's tiresome though. I was doing
Mhm.
3 to 4 meetings a day.
I think we need to go
had some
back.
road time.
We need to make
Yeah.
a rule. Zoom or Teams or whatever you're using. We use Google Meet. No video.
No video.
I
like
Wait
video.
a minute.
No
You
video.
always want video.
No. I would like to go back because I used Zoom before COVID just as a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
No video. I never turned on video.
I've seen you yell at people
Yeah.
because they're not on video.
Well, that's really making, once I'm on video, once I'm on video, I want
I
everyone
want
else to
everybody
be.
else on, yeah.
If I had to do my hair, you got to do your hair.
Exactly.
I like being on video because I talk with my hands, as you guys
Mhm.
can see.
Aye.
I like being able to see that people
Yeah.
are engaged and
Yeah.
into the conversation that we're having.
I like multitasking too much so that I
Yeah.
can talk to the person and
Does
still be doing.
multitasking actually really work?
No, we
It doesn't.
learn.
Oh, God, don't do this.
We
It's like,
learn.
what do they call it? Code switching, where you can
Yeah.
you can't really multitask. You have to code switch. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week we were at another show, and I forget the lady's name. Do you remember her name?
Mm-mm. No.
But she studies this. This is what she's
an expert at.
Yeah.
Psychologist.
And he's like, "Oh, I can multi." She's like, "No, you can't."
No.
And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna listen."
Mhm.
I can.
Yeah, I don't like being on a call, like a Zoom call, and if I was multitasking, and then I hear my name, I'm like,
Yeah.
what did you say?
What did you say again? Yeah.
That's a really great question. Like, say it back again in a different way.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't quite get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens.
Deflection.
So a couple of questions. So
Yeah.
what's one challenge or trend you're seeing in HR, payroll, benefits, et cetera, that leaders face, and how are you helping them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that, over the last several years, many HR leaders are experiencing like employees leaving to go to another company because maybe they get paid $2 more down the street, or there's better benefits. So a lot of times HR managers are trying to figure out, how do we keep the talent we have? How do we keep them happy? How do we provide them with the resources that they need to be able to feel fulfilled at our company? And so what we're trying to help employers do, like I told you earlier, we work with partners. So we offer our product through the payroll company. The payroll company offers their product to the client, and the employee is our end user. And so from a client perspective, when we're talking to that client persona, it's really figuring out, based on industry, kind of what their needs are. What are they seeing? Why are employees leaving, or why are employees coming to work for them? And we really help the client persona with attracting talent.
Right.
And then once you attract them, how do you retain that talent? And most people, if they're very happy with the company they work with, and they feel like their company that they work for fills their needs, and not just like needs of like being fulfilled because you love what you do, but also your day-to-day, your financial needs. We all go to work so we can make money. And so being able to provide clients with a tool, a financial wellness benefit that helps the employees feel more fulfilled. When employees are stressed out at work because they don't have money for basic things, that really hurts the client. It really hurts productivity, having engaged employees. And so being able to give them a benefit that can help cut down that stress at least a little bit helps the employee be more engaged. And employees
It's hard to
want
be
to have
engaged when you have an emergency
exactly
that you can't pay for.
Right. And you want to have autonomy over your money. You don't want if you have an emergency, the worst feeling for an employee or for anybody is to go to their employer and say, "Hey, I need you to loan me $200 till I get paid," And so we give employees autonomy over the money that they've already earned, which is huge. We're all adults. We don't want to have to go to our friends, our family, our boss and say, "I'm having financial problems." We want to just be able to handle it.
Right.
And that gives employees that autonomy, that gives the people the autonomy over the money they've already earned.
Right. What's an example, or give us a story, an example of a success story that you might have heard through the end user or even employer, where an employee was in the situation where they really needed access.
No brand names, no company names.
Yeah, I will not give brand names. I'll actually start with a story that about me personally. And not having access to the wages. So I remember being in my early 20s, having 2 little kids. I was going to school. I wanted to be a nurse. I had dreams of being a nurse.
Bless you.
And you ended up in payroll.
I ended up in payroll.
Rock on.
Yeah. So, going to school full time, having two toddlers, and not working. Obviously, you could imagine my financial situation. So about 15 years ago, I remember being in the grocery store, like, oh, I'm going to pick up diapers. I'm going to pick up, this, that. And remember getting in the checkout line and
Having to take stuff off the bill.
well, then thinking like, oh, have I gotten paid? I was working a part-time job. Like, have I gotten paid? Do I have enough money in my account for this? And this was back before you could check online to see how much money had in your
It was
account.
more of a hope.
Right. So I called because it was, my credit union, we could call and you put in your account number and they would tell you how much you had in your account. So I remember being in line. There was probably 2 or 3 people behind me, 2 people in front of me, and being in line and hearing that you have $7.57 in your account. And I'm like,
yeah.
I have a cart full of groceries. I have a cart, diapers, formula, all of that stuff adds up. So, just, and I had no other option but to like slip out of the line, put my cart down an aisle and walk out of the store, because there was nowhere where I could go to where money could be put on my account in an instant, right? So I would, so I think one of the reasons that this benefit is so important to me and why I moved from the payroll industry over, I'm still in payroll, but over to earned wage access, is because I remember that feeling of not having autonomy over over money, or not having an emergency and not having access to it. So, I think it's just such a powerful tool to be able to go on to your phone, log into ZayZoon, click to take a payout, and within 30 seconds, you have that money in your account.
Right.
I would have never had to get out of that line. I would have never had to feel the shame and embarrassment of that because I would have access to my funds. So, those are the types of stories that we hear every single day.
Right.
People aren't accessing their wages so they can, have a fun Friday night. I'm sure some people are.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when we look at our customers, they're spending their money on diapers, wipes, formula, groceries, flat
Necessities.
tire. I can't pinpoint like a single story because there's just thousands of them where people are like, I just need a little bit of money to get by. And, this helped me to get through to my next pay period.
It's also you also teaching financial literacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And budgeting and things like that. So even if that first couple times they take things out that maybe they need later on, at one point they learn like, okay, I only need to access that when there's an emergency.
Yeah, we do have a financial wellness program along with our access to our along with giving employees access to their wages, where they can go on and take courses. They can link their bank account so they can get like overdraft. They can be aware if they're going to go overdraft, or they can see what they're spending their money on. Our goal at ZayZoon is to help people, leave them in a better position than when we found them. Like if people need access to money in between their check dates, if they don't have access to a program like ours, they're going to find the money somewhere. They're going to borrow from a payday loan company, which
is predatory as hell.
Or they'll pawn. They'll pawn stuff.
They'll pawn stuff. Yeah. They'll overdraft their account. They'll ask for it.
None of that works. No. None of that. It just puts them further in need.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so we want to leave people in a better situation than when we found them.
Yeah.
Or they found us.
So what advice would you give HR leaders that want to elevate their people strategies?
Yeah, I think it's just really important that you, for HR, any HR administrator, to always put yourself in other people's shoes. One of the things that I hear from HR administrators that, is kind of a hard pill for me to swallow is, I don't want to give my employees access to this because I think they should be able to budget their money better, or, and it's really easy
Thanks, Dad.
it's really easy to say that if you're on the side of the spectrum that doesn't need access to, that doesn't live paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
But when you're on the side that does live paycheck to paycheck, that doesn't help doesn't help people. And so it's really putting
it's punishing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's putting yourself in people's shoes and realizing it doesn't matter how much money people make.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what their situation is at home. Maybe they have a sick kid, or maybe, they've have a spouse that lost their job, and what,
anything.
At one point they
Everybody's
weren't living
through.
paycheck to paycheck, but, so you never know what people's financial situations are. So I think it really is just best, like, put yourself in other people's shoes and not really think about the negative in people. What if they take advantage of it?
Right.
Why can't they budget their money? And really looking at people from a positive perspective.
Yeah, having more empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's going through something.
You just never know what people's financial situations are and why they're in those situations.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The term people hero, we hear it a lot at the event, obviously. But finish a sentence. Being a people hero means. What's your version of that? Being a people hero means.
Yeah, I think being a people hero means it is just being there for the people that you're working with and that are working under you, and understanding that everybody that you come in contact with or you work with really needs people to look at them on look at them like a sibling or, a friend, and being that person in their life, especially in the space that I'm in, that understands that everybody's in a situation or everybody's dealing with something, and, understanding that people have issues, stuff
to deal with,
and always giving people, like you said, that empathy of
Well, being aware and then being available.
Yeah.
Like those two things I think have shifted in HR.
Yeah.
Because they might have been aware-ish, but they weren't necessarily available.
Right.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's, being in HR, you always have to be constantly thinking of how do we, not only from a company perspective, but from an empathy perspective. You want to have your employees in a situation where when they come to work every day, they're refreshed, they're energized, they're not stressed about things. They're able to do the work that you pay them to do. And then, recognizing people as well, recognizing people for their hard work.
Yeah.
Drops mic, walks off stage.
That's it.